Morning again, everyone. Another game. This is the International Twilight Struggle League. We are playing Jesse Marshall, who is top of his Australasia division. Australasia/Oceania, I suppose. Anyway, I'm USA, he is USSR. We've never played before, but I know Jesse fairly well from competitive games. I've followed his work. So, let's see how we do. Yes, yesterday's game against Caveman Crossing, I definitely got a number of death row reprieves. So let's see if I get to do the same again this time. Right, so containment is attractive because then I can event and repair de Gaulle. Finish with Vietnam revolts. I may even be able to hold Purge to the next turn. Alright, so we will open 442. So what do we want to achieve if we headline containment? Event and repair de Gaulle. Use a number of other clean ops. We could always break and repair, break and Truman Italy if he does get a good coup off. We're doing enough with containment. Like if you assume all these 5 cards get a boost, we're doing enough with containment to headline it. The alternatives are CIA to drop DEFCON, but that gets CIA out the deck very early. Let's move to headline. I'm happy with 442. It gets CIA out the deck rather early to headline it now. And then there's Purge, which is the greedy option. The question is, it's better to spend 4 ops purging him for a loss of 4 or 5 than it is spending 3 ops to give me a 5 op boost. Because to some extent the end result is the same. Let's contain, because it events and repairs de Gaulle, which is a bonus. But even this may be close, so I welcome your thoughts. Purge, CIA, Truman, Vietnam, de Gaulle, and 5-year plan. Ooh, you know he's got a tough life when he's headlining Olympic Games. Which he wins, so he's off to a good start. Will we get a China card coup? AL1. So I would expect a coup on Iran here if he's ops light. And I would assume he is ops light if he's headlining Olympic Games. I mean, that's pretty far down the priority tree for USSR. So priorities are event and repair de Gaulle, get into Malaysia to push into Thailand, hopefully get a strong counter coup back on Iran. Yep, China card coup on Iran. And he does just enough to clear it out. So what should we do first? We will push into Malaysia. And we'll push into Jordan to see if we can walk into Iraq, Iran, and Pakistan again. If he drops DEFCON again, we take Thailand. If he doesn't drop DEFCON again, because he might move into Afghanistan, we've got some options. We're fairly ops rich, which is a delight. So he may push into Afghanistan to claim domination. Which we can respond to in several ways. The easiest, given that he's shown his ops light, is just slamming 4 into Thailand. It's almost appealing to hold Purge to next turn because he's going to be anticipating being more ops rich. And so purging him next turn after being ops light turn 1 might be enough to unsettle him further. Once DEFCON's at 2, I might try and pop Lebanon to get presence in the Middle East. If he doesn't get Asia domination here... Oh, he's got decol. Pow. Alright, well we're going to deal with the France threat first. And if he's got Asia domination, then well done him. That's a lesser of two evils thing, as much as anything. But I'm content with it. Oh, excellent. So is he going to put 4 in Thailand? 2 and 2. Okay, not Portugal. But. Let's take the big old coup on Thailand and hope for the best. The best! So he drops Middle East for 4, which is good for him. Well done. We will drop 1 in Panama and put 1 next to it in Costa Rica. Given the situation, early war, he's done quite well. Put me under some pressure. Now he spaces NORAD. Is he going to get off there too? No, that's something. because I'm not going to space this turn. So we will have the last coup as well, and shore up that end. And then we'll finish the term with Vietnam revolts. Okay, that's sensible. We're going to take Japan to make him think twice about Korea. Not sure that's ideal, but we'll go with it. And then we're going to purge him next turn. We're unlikely to see a better card. I got Korean War, which is nice. So if I give the China card back, I can hold blockade and D-style, right? So options are purge or duck and cover. 2, 5, 7, 9, 12, 16 ops if I play the China card. Space Korean War. Purge is good as well, because if he headlines Suez, he can't take France anyway. I feel like it's greedy, but we could purge him. Warsaw D-style blockade. And Cambridge 5. Made me able to space Korean War. What's the alternative? Headline, duck and cover, which gives him Korea, and I can't then fight for domination. I think purge is better, because he's going to want to get a coup off as well. Let's purge him. Oh, he was hoping for defectors. He didn't get it. Because now he's got the dilemma, do I take the coup, or do I take Korea? Plus, if he's got NATO, I've got special relationship. Okay, so I'll take Korea. But I'll split my ops to make sure he can't just take Panama as well. What I'm basically saying is, look mate, I'm having both of those. Unless he's got NATO. And even then I can overtake Korea with the China card. Okay, he's off to space. He's decided it's a battle he can't win. So we'll be spacing Korean War. I want to keep late Cambridge 5 for as late in the turn as possible. Keep Cambridge 5 as late as possible, simply to avoid the very real possibility that he will realise I don't have Asia scoring and can do other stuff with his time, because right now he has to keep fighting in Asia. With the China card, I'm likely to do Malaysia, Indonesia, and Taiwan, because then that makes Formosa Resolution eventable even by me. So he's just punting stuff to space and getting ahead. Let's space Korean War in response. And we get there. That's nice. So what am I hoping to do? Stay ahead in Asia, which I should be able to do by country count. I'll need to get into Zaire to stop the Angola flip. I'm guessing he doesn't have NATO. But I'm still going to keep special relationship to later in the turn. I think next is the China card. Ooh, lordy. That's a bummer. Because I want to play the China card. So. Man, do we blockade D-Style and keep hold of the China card? Is the question. Alright, we're going to ditch special relationship, and if he now plays NATO, I look like a real idiot. Probably should have played the China card before spacing, possibly, to take Taiwan, but I don't know if that's just results-oriented thinking, so disregard. So is it better to blockade away D-Style? Probably not, now that but maybe it is, I don't know. It's going to be one for the ages, I suppose. Let's do that so we can walk in there too. I don't know if I'm just going completely bonkers now. I could certainly be. So if I get dealt Asia scoring only decol, or D-Style if I put it back in the pack. I think I want to give up the China card and keep D-Style, because I'm already 3 battlegrounds in Asia. I think putting D-Style back in the pack is a mistake. So let's give him the China card back. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to cover Korea. I'm not sure that was ideal, but it was what it was. So only decolonization screws with Asia scoring. He's got Indo-Pakistani war. I'm going to headline Asia scoring here. Although he knows I've got Asia scoring. He's got defectors. And nuclear test ban. And Indo-Pakistani war. And he's got Arab, Israeli, Fidel and Nasser. I got redealt. CIA, duck and cover. And that's my 8. Alright, so if he's got nuclear test ban, Arab Israeli, Indo-Pac, defectors, Fidel, NASA. NASA's the most attractive headline, I suppose. But he knows I have Asia scoring. So if he got redealt colonization, decolonization, he's going to play it. But I think we have to start with Asia scoring. Get it out the hand. Fine. NASA's not ideal, but it's fine. Because he's going to get a coup off now, and I'll move into Saudi. So nuclear test ban coup on Panama seems likeliest. That was always a risk. Poor guy. When it's not going your way. We're going to blockade away D-style, which means spacing SOCGov to use UN intervention for a point, otherwise we lose 2 cards this turn and don't get an AR6, which in turn 3 is a mistake. So, if he drops Middle East scoring, things aren't the best, but they're alright. Yeah, okay, so he's just splashing around. He won't get control right now, at least, because we can put one in Saudi. So he's got Arab Israel, Indo-Pac, defectors, Fidel, and one other. We're going to want to put one in Malaysia to shore up against brush war, or at least make it 50-50. Likewise, we want to take Greece to make Italy less brushable, although I might also want to take Portugal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 ops that I've accounted for. Maybe one more in South Africa to make it a 4-op card to take. If Middle East scoring doesn't drop immediately, I go into mid-war thinking I've done alright. There's still plenty of time for it to come unravelled. Okay, so he's pushing there. We'll give up on that. I get the Canada bonus. Let's go off to space. And we fail. And we know his entire hand now. Arab Israel, Indo-Pac, defectors, Fidel. So he should event Fidel. He may try and space defectors because it's a 50-50 shot at 2 VPs and a 1 VP saving. But first, fine. We'll shore up Greece. Now Asia's been scored and we're currently at 3-3. I'm not too worried about Asia. Middle East is bad if I should be putting... actually, I should be putting the spare one into Israel, because if I get Muslim revolutioned, I am out of there. And Arab-Israel war now has gone along with Suez, so it's a good place to put one in. He puts Fidel in. I'm going to let Fidel stay. I'm going to put one in Israel. So I expect to see him try and space defectors, because it's just worth the... It's worth the 3 VP swing potential. Yeah, there it goes. It doesn't get there. Alright, so what do we want? We can do two things, really. We can shore up Thailand against brush war, or we can try 3 rear lines on Cuba, which is probably about 50-50 to remove him. The other option is popping one in Colombia. But I've done that so many times and failed so many times. So instead I'm going to protect against Italy and brush war, especially as Europe hasn't scored. Alright, I'm not sure if that's best, but that's what it is. Let's add the mid-war cards. Brilliant, I got Europe. And I've got Voice of America. That is a pretty outrageous... isn't it? That is a sick, sick hand. Man, when you're getting dealt good cards, you're getting dealt good cards. We will bury you ABM and Purge, which I might use because I'm ops rich. And if he missile enters me, we could use Voice of America. I've got Colonial Rearguards, so I can recover against Decol, unless he headlines it. Korean War can go back to space. I'll then stop worrying. And the beautiful VOA. Do we purge? I think we've got enough ops to do it. Let's do it. Oh my god, I'm being really, really gross today. That might not be the best headline, and I'm very open to other suggestions. But it's just so disgustingly appealing. If you Muslim revolutions me, I will. ABM treaty. And I'll probably go Iran to get access to West Asia. Oh, he's got decol. But the purge means he can't flip Thailand. And then I can always recover with ABM treaty and colonial rearguards. So the plan is to drop Europe for domination. South America's probably going to go for 0, unless he gets access or gives access somehow. So yeah, he focuses on Africa. So we get the coup. And we'll use Voice of America to clear Africa out to retain domination. If he doesn't drop for domination now, he might get greedy and take Angola. Alright, so let's make his life difficult. If we don't see Indo-Pakistani war drop, we can't play into India. So he asked knots. We will ditch Korean War, South America scoring, and we will bury you. And we're going to use Voice of America now. Now we're 4-2 up, so I'm fine for now. I'm fine for now with... although, of course, if you miss me now, I'm an idiot. He needs to play South African unrest or Portuguese to take Angola, and I can recover from it. He's salting. So we will drop Europe scoring and have the last coup. I might event Panama Canal returned even though South America scoring's BIM. But first we're likely to have coup counter coup before eventing D-style. We know he's got D-style Indo-Pakistani war in his hand, we don't know the rest. So he gets a coup off. Which fails. Right, so we're going to event Panama Canal returned, so that we can make sure we get access first. If he coups Venezuela and succeeds, I can ABM coup it, or brush war it. It fails. And Indo-Pakistani war's now gone. ABM for ops, the ultimate insult. So now he D-styles Chile, Argentina, Indonesia, Mexico are the best targets. Does he have a scoring card, which disables him from D-styling this turn? No. So away D-style goes. We don't know anything about his hand. Chile, Indonesia, Argentina, Mexico. Fine. We will just space to finish the turn. We get away, so the 2 VP square becomes competitive. I'm going to keep hold of brush war for now. Middle East scoring is a bummer. I might be able to do something fancy with shuttle diplomacy, but I probably won't. Alright, let's plug in my hand. Because with We Will Bury You and Duck and Cover gone, I don't know if Olympic Games is a potential headline. But for now, Arms Race, Olympic Games, Brush War, NORAD Shuttle, Brezhnev. NORAD is in principle eventable until I get Quagmired. So if he headlines Quagmire here, I look like a chump. Portuguese Empire, East European unrest. and Middle East scoring. So options. Brush war, but Mexico's not currently a hot target. But the upshot of headlining brush war is that I could, if I suppose I want to be able to brush war on Mexico, although I have access there. He might want to try and coup Brazil and realign on Venezuela as well. I can't do a lot of damage with NORAD, and it's going to cost me 3 ops to event it. If I'd have been more spread out where I had access, it would be different. But I don't. So, Olympic Games. No, if he headlines Cuban Missile Crisis, I can lose. That's it, but it's enough. I tell you what, we're going to event Brush War, and we're going to target Libya, because if he does coup AR1, I can then still take Mexico. So he goes for OPEC. Let's go for Libya to try and reduce the volume. Come on, big money, no Amazon, stop. Very nice. So 1 less VP for him. If he doesn't get a strong coup off AR1, arms race is playable by me. If he... No, another option, because I've got Middle East scoring, is 3 into Israel, if it's before Muslim Rev. 3 into Israel, shuttle diplomacy, Middle East scoring for domination. Which is pretty crazy, but workable. Brazil or Africa? Brazil. Fails. Jesus H. Christ. He is rolling so poorly. So before that, we'll take Mexico. And now we're still on the plan. 3 into Israel, event shuttle, Middle East scoring. Harsh. But then he got greedy cooing Brazil, I suppose. Well, although he couldn't have done a lot else. Before we do Israel, let's get off to space. We miss. Had to be done. He spaces Usuri. Does he get there? He does. Of course, we want to take India. So do we content ourselves with dropping Middle East scoring for 0 to entrench our Asia position? Is another keen consideration. Let's just overprotect that against a flip as well. Splashing around again, aren't I? Where did that one go? Austria. Fine, I'm still ahead. Let's event shuttle and see if he immediately responds or not. I don't know. It may distract him at least. I feel like at the very least this farts around in a satisfying fashion. He now needs to use 3 ops to or 2 ops. No, 1, 2, yeah, 2 ops. 2 ops to deny me domination. But we've just traded blows. Whereas he needs to be developing his board position with ABM and brush gone. So at the moment, things are tilting my way and I can afford to do stupid shenanigans. I'm just glad he didn't have Muslim Revolution, because that would have made me look like an idiot. If he has to use the China card here, so much the better. But he won't. I mean, he just needs 2 ops. He will be using one of his own cards. If he quagmires me, I still get to play for domination, which is fine but a bit annoying. Let's see what he does. I'm not going to second guess. I think he needs to respond to the Middle East threat, which I've advertised. And I don't know if this was an ideal move, to be honest. If I'm saying, oh, it's not worth eventing NORAD because it costs me 3 ops. It costs me 3 ops and an AR to event shuttle diplomacy to threaten the Middle East. So if one is true, is the other? It's more of a philosophy question, if anyone wants to answer it. Is it cognitive dissonance for me to disregard NORAD? Okay, he uses the China card. Is he going to try and get domination? That would be funny. No. Alright, so we drop Middle East scoring for nothing and get the China card, which is a bonus. Man. We got Quagmire, Africa scoring, and I can grain sales him. It's another bloody great deal. Really fabulous. And South African unrest, so he can't take Angola. Sick. Pretty sick. If he misalembers me, he gets U2 incident. Did I hold Olympic Games? I did, yeah. So South African unrest, junta, and grain. Africa. So missile envy is the worst headline, and I've even got a plan against that. 5-year puppet. That's Mullot. Grain sales for the headline. He gets to see, but he doesn't get to coup. So he should coup on Saharan states or Cameroon and then coup on the other one to threaten the rear line. But I can then put 3 into Ivory Coast. So by the end of the turn, I need to have put 1 in Burma to protect against Indo-Pakistani war, probably 1 into Indonesia and ideally the Philippines in order to get ready for Southeast Asia scoring. Retaken Libya. Tried to get Africa scoring for domination. And those are my immediate plans. The rest is shoring up. He may choose to take Argentina to defend against junta, and I would be fine with that, because really he should be targeting Africa, the scored region, unscored region. I think the best opening gambit is coup Sahara or Cameroon and then coup the other one, because you're threatening a 2-on-1 realign and you're denying domination, AR1, which is pretty solid. We need to hold U2 and Quagmire until Missile Envy's gone. Do not want to get Missile Envied into a Quagmire. That would be stupid. And I want to space South African unrest, really. But I can't risk doing that before Quagmire. So AR's 1 to 5 those bad boys. We can use puppet governments to cram influence into Africa if we need to. So Ortega's going to be the only DEFCON suicide risk, and it looks like I'm not going to get to the 3-op space anytime soon. So DEFCON suicide is probably off the table for USA now. So consolidating my position is key. Okay, so he goes for that, which is fine. Goes for that, which is also fine. So we'll drop Africa scoring for domination. We're not going to fart around. He's also, to a greater or lesser extent, handed me the Middle East. Oh man. Ouch. Okay. I do feel bad for him. I do, honestly. Let's use Olympic Games first and keep some ops back. So we want to take Libya. And we want to protect against Indo-Pakistani war. Although, of course, he could just puppet government me. Puppet government. I'm such an idiot. He can Muslim revolution me. Although I can retake Egypt. He spaces the trap. And misses. So what do we want to do to prevent getting Muslim revolutioned out? 2 into Tunisia. 1 into Sudan. Oh no, 2 into Tunisia is meaningless if he Muslim revolutions me. Puppet governments. 1 into Peru. One either side of Cuba. Yeah. If he coups on Nicaragua or Haiti, we'll plough 3 into Chile. If he doesn't coup, we can try some high tension realigns. Had to be done. Let's go on, I'm paying attention. Starting to rock up the yeah, so we'll plough into that. Obviously Allende is still to come out. If he doesn't respond to Chile and Argentina, then junta into Argentina and try a +1 realign on Chile and then a +2 realign on Argentina is sassy. It's good use of junta. Although I may want to hold junta through the turn to be able to drop DEFCON next turn. So I'm going to bind there. 2 VP for me, so you should take Argentina. Yeah. Alright, we are going to space South African unrest. because we've got time. And we fail. Ooh, at the moment we're in the sexy position of being able to event Summit without risk of DEFCON suicide. Let's see if that remains. He may kill on Sahara States here, which wouldn't be a bad play. It would require a response. And obviously I don't want to play U2 Incident for fear of getting missile envied into Quagmire. He's got the Pope, and he has to repair it. Cool. So... No. Let's use it. I don't want to get missile envied. Perfect. So now if he events missile envy, I give him U2 and use the China card holding Quagmire. If he doesn't, I use U2 Incident and hold Quagmire. Oh man. Event first, eh? Thanks. He has been dealt duds, hasn't he? So we'll see what comes out in the reshuffle. Yeah, fine. Let's realign him out of there first, if possible. I said first. I got hubris. Such hubris. Right, Middle East scoring is good. Cuban Missile Crisis drops DEFCON. I've got ABM Treaty and Missile Envy. And I can space Che if I need to. OPEC's only worth 2 VP at the moment. Not a bad deal. So I got Allende and Che. Cuban Missile Crisis and Missile Envy. Which means he got... Let's just check. He got Lads, Arman in Tehran, which is going to event if he plays it. Muslim Rev, Cultural Revolution, and the Cambridge 5. But I got for my power as well. So he's got Emit, Lads, Muslim Rev, Cult Rev, Cambridge 5. So Muslim Rev will come in handy for him here. And I didn't get into Sudan, so Egypt's going to get cleaned out. So we may ABM Treaty Iran. Although he can then realign me out of Iran. ABM Treaty Libya, maybe. Riyadh discards. And I got Middle East, OPEC and ABM back. OPEC, Middle East, ABM. I like eventing ABM because I expect to see Muslim Revolution here. Maybe Cultural Revolution to take the China card back. Do I expect to see We Will Bury or Duck and Cover? I think even if I don't, it's too risky to use Missile Envy. Because obviously at this point I'm looking to minimise my chance of losing by default. And if he headlines We Will Bury You or Duck and Cover and then gives me something with Missile Envy, I'm sunk, and I want to avoid that fate. What about headlining Middle Eastern scoring? If he takes out Libya and Egypt, he gains domination. So headlining Middle Eastern scoring is out too. So I think ABM and see what he does. He wants to look for scoring cards. Okay, and he's got Muslim Revolution. That's a bummer. So let's cause trouble elsewhere for him. Or in the same place? In the same place. Yeah, that's good. So he's going to get to see I have Middle East scoring, put one influence in, and then use Muslim Rev. But if he uses Muslim Rev AR1, I get a bonus action. And now, if he uses Muslim Rev, I can drop it AR1. Although if he uses AR1, I suppose I can get the last coup off as well. Although I may want to just drop it for neutrality. So I'm very currently in the position where I could headline Summit and guarantee a win. Rare. So rare. Alright, de Gaulle's gone, Suez is gone. Brush War isn't great on Italy. So the Reformer is the last big hassle in Europe. In Asia, Decol can come back. Indo-Pakistani War, Korean War can 1 in 3 flip. In the Middle East, we've got a crisis now. Africa, South African unrest and Portuguese Empire flips Angola. In South America, I'm holding Allende, so I can deal with him. Yeah. So, do we play greedy or not? Let's play greedy. Oh, greed is good. So he's unlikely to be able to deny domination without a successful brush war on Libya now. And even then, I can pop 1 in Saudi Arabia to retain domination. So that's not looking spectacular for him. Was that another 6 coup? Yeah, Jesus. And this one? A 4. It just felt like a 6 because it was the perfect number. So 2 into Iran and 1 there. Okay, so we will use OPEC to tap Iraq and put 1 into Saudi, dropping OPEC for 1 VP. And we can do this to a greater or lesser extent all turn, right? If he does this for the whole turn, he's not developing his board state elsewhere. And he needs to, right? I mean, maybe I'm being overly risk averse, but, you know, if he's going to get out of this hole, he has to fix the whole board, not just the Middle East. On the other hand, he'll say, if I lose the Middle East domination, I'm sunk anyway. So he's caught between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, fine. Let's take our scorer. He might try a saucy realign. The fact he still has Cultural Revolution in his hand means I might play the China card at some point. For now, I might use Missile Envy to take Costa Rica and Peru. No, sorry, Costa Rica and put 1 in Chile to then be able to fix Allende in a 1-er, which renders Quagmire or Che my space and hold cards. Missile Envy becomes playable if Duck and Cover leaves. Right? If Duck and Cover gets spaced by him, I can event missile MV. Okay, he takes the China card back, which is perfectly fine. We're going to coup on Guatemala. Mostly because what we don't want to do is have him have a pump and realign attempt or something. So he should coup on Nicaragua as response. Yeah, and we get to look at... Can we get Lone Gunman out the deck? Oh, Lone Gunman's gone. Oh, interesting. Who's there instead? I would have cooed Nicaragua. I don't know if I'd be right. UN Intervention is a 50-50 card, and 5-year plan we're going to ditch because we don't want him to throw a scoring card. But we'll keep the other two in. So UN Intervention and 5-year plan can go. Right? We don't want him ditching a favourable scoring card with it. Right, we'll just overprotect Mexico. Well, maybe we won't. Let's do that bit again. I always forget about the back moment. So we're keeping Colonial, Small Step, Bear Trap. Yeah. Let's reclaim domination. And pop one in each of those. Kind of signalling that I have Allende and I'm about to repair it. On the other hand, it doesn't matter. So if he coups Nicaragua now, we'll just space an event and repair Allende. And that's turn. And then we're hoping for a scoring card turn 8 or War Games. Because Lone Gunman's gone and I'm not in Cuba and I could space Ortega anyway, so... Things are looking alright. I think only a DEFCON related mistake can win it for the USSR here. Especially as I'm holding Quagmire. I mean, a 2-turn Quagmire could turn the game, but that's now not happening either. But it was a lopsided game, right? I got dealt ABM twice, I got Junta, I got Brush, I got Missile MV. He salted D-Style but couldn't do anything with it because I was already in South America at that point. All of my coups have been high. Like, literally everything has gone well, right? Everything. So, when you're up against that... Ooh. Interesting. So let's give him Allende for now and hope he didn't have South America scoring. And he didn't pop one in Thailand, so he can't flip it with the China card. And we'll see what he does AR7. Because depending on what he does, I might give him Che and assume that Nigeria is a bit of a lost cause. And hold Kogma. But let's see. What we're hoping is to not see Africa or South America scoring drop, but I assume we won't. Because depending on what he does, putting South America back up to control, or at least domination, is important. If he pours 4 into Chile, I've got a problem. No, he's going for a realign. Whoa, good one. That now solves the problem of being realigned out. Oh well, so we'll give him Che. We'll reassert control and Where's the last op going? Here, so if socialist governments in a 4 op doesn't come off. So he's going to coup on Nicaragua, and he might coup on Peru. Yeah, Peru's probably... Oh no, he's... Okay, yeah, so he's shoring up there. So he's hoping for a coup or a flip to get Africa domination. Peru or Nicaragua? I mean, Nicaragua denies domination, so okay. Wrong choice in my opinion. That's a bummer. We will headline Africa scoring with Decol gone. Because we could do all sorts of shenanigans with them. We could do all sorts of shenanigans with Colonial Rogards, but we're still taking an unnecessary chance, aren't we? So let's just get out of the hand now. This may be wrong, but who cares? And then let's plug in the rest of my hand. Ortega is not a DEFCON suicide risk. Junta. Eastern European unrest is now supercharged. Colonial Rearguards. Yasuri. And I get Indo-Pakistani War, so India's safe. Flower Power's in session though, so we've got to wait for an evil empire. This is just downright fine, right? He's got Portuguese Empire crumbles and South Africa unrest to flip domination. If he plays that card, then kudos. But if he doesn't get dealt them and doesn't play them, then I turn a almost immediate risk of domination into a sneaky 1VP, which I can live with. And the sad thing is, given the board state, to some extent I can live with being dominated in Africa, if he does find that headline. But it's late war. He usually gets a lot more options. Yeah, so he's going for the Hail Mary realigns, and I sneak an extra VP out of the pack. So we will... He's getting the coup off. South America? Yeah. Oh, man. Just so gross. So we'll put Junta in, and we'll get a coup on... here. Perfect coup. So we're going to be spacing Quagmire. We may still event Colonial... Well, we will event Colonial Regards, but I'm going to play it for Bleeding Ops. But we're left with some options. If he plays the China card, we can event Yasuri, but we don't need to take the China card off him in a hurry. We got time. Okay. Things are desperate. And I think he's probably holding South America scoring. So let's just overprotect there. My sense is that he's holding South America scoring and needs to try and flip Brazil and Venezuela. So now he's just trying it on. I lose 1. So we'll pop 2 in there. I can take 2 for 1s, obviously. We're going to be eventing East European unrest just to put maximum pressure. He's going big. In which case, let's start with... what are we going to start with? Blimey. No, let's protect Europe with a DEFCON dropping coup. So Europe's safe. His next coup target will be Thailand. Probably. Because that levels up Asia. Or Argentina/Brazil if he's got South America scoring. Desperate times, right? You don't headline the realignment card and then raise DEFCON to 5. Ah, saving a DEFCON dropper. Clever. Let's try coupping Poland. It fails. That's a bummer. Eastern European unrest puts him in a bit of an even harder spot here. And now he only gets one coup attempt. Brazil or Argentina seems likely. He's signalling that he's holding South America scoring, certainly. He gets there. So we will not use colonial rearguards for the ops. We'll just get domination in South America. And we'll put a bit more pressure in East Germany. It's still enough to end the game. And we'll hold Indo-Pakistani war in space quagmire. So, realign on Brazil or a coup on Peru are his likeliest gambits. China card coup on Peru kind of indicates it's a last gasp. And then if he does that, well, he might not do that, because if he does that, I just coup Colombia with Eastern European unrest and I regain domination for AR7. So that doesn't achieve a lot for him. Yeah, going for the realigns. Brazil. Oh, Chile. Nice. Nice. Brazil next. He's got to do Brazil, right? Because otherwise, if he's still got... I mean, I can still coup Colombia, yeah? So miss this one. Great. So I coup Colombia. Regain domination 4-2. And if he's got it, the game's over. Yeah. I can't imagine he's got another card. Because he invested, yeah, every single op. Oh well, satisfying, but really was just the cards and the dice. So let me know what I flubbed. Let me know especially about that NORAD shuttle diplomacy thing, because I think that was weird. Anyway, thanks again for watching. Catch you next time. Next Saturday against Shaq. This was the International Twilight Struggle League with Jesse. Next time is RTSL. So thanks for watching.